welcome back to my channel. It's Angela again here today. I hope you've all been keeping well. I've had a lot of new subscribers recently, and I'd just like to give you a big warm welcome and say thank you for joining my crazy tribe, and for all my existing wonderful supporters and subscribers, a very warm welcome to you all. Thank you so much for joining me again today. So today we're on exciting envelope number 16. I can't believe I've got to 16 already. And here it is. So in my usual muted tones, I hope that's not too close. What this is really, it's no rocket science this. It's an envelope obviously, but what I've done is I have made it really pretty, and sort of it's a loaded pocket envelopes really, that's what it is. So you can see if I bring that closer, got some little buttons there, really tiny buttons. Got a little bit of some bunting going on there with butterflies. Tried to texturize it, so I've got a little bit of a torn opening there. Made a few little tags, some roses, some ribbon, really girly. So couple of tags. I've got one here that's from Amity Bloom that I like to use because of the color, which I've just dressed up a little bit. I've got another little one here. This one is a picture that I got off Pinterest under botanicals. If you follow my Pinterest account, I've taken some vellum and I've just embossed it to give a little bit of texture there, so that goes in there. Those go in the front. I've put on some of the Tim Holtz die cuts here, just laid that on so it looks like there are flowers coming out, because it's a very nature butterfly flowery sort of scene. And in the back here I've just got another tag that I've put a little collage and a little pearl heart on and the likes. So there we go, that's really what it is today. So when you put that all together, we've got something that I actually was thinking of making to put on a cover on one of my journals. So if you had to put a little bit of a doily behind this and layer it up on the front of your journal, and this can go down furthermore like that, I think that would look really pretty. So I think that's what I'm going to do with one of mine, is use it for a cover piece. So there we go. I'm going to show you how to make this. So grab your goodies and come and join me and see how I go about it. Alright, so this is the envelope I used today. You can use anything, in fact use a mailer, that would be the best way really. I'm always encouraging recycling. Now just so that you know, this is just over 8.5 inches or 22 centimeters by 11 centimeters or just over 4.25 inches. So that's what this is about. You could use any mailer, it doesn't matter if it had a window or not. None of that would matter. In fact, if you did have a window and had it at the back, at this part here, it would have a really nice decorative added benefit if you had to put something that when you took these out showed a little picture. So that would be a version that you could use as well, so it's up to you. All right, so what I did was I used one of these envelopes and I cut them in half. So, well, not half, I cut it in two, let's say. So this is the sizes that I had. So I've got one that is 3.25 inches and the other one is 5.25. All right, so those are the two pieces that I have actually used today. So that's what we are looking at as far as an envelope is concerned. And as far as the papers are concerned, I've got these new papers because I'm terrible with new papers, can't help myself, and then I'll drag you all in with me. These are in Antique Papery shop, not mine. I love this kit, it's brand new. It's called Garden Trellis, and I bought this because I just loved all the flowers and the way they're trellised. So there are, I think there are 5 or 6 pages in that. I'm going to be using these two today, which are really, really pretty. And there are some others as well that have got more mauves in it. Really pretty kit, more than this. So, but today I was doing pinks and blues, so I have chosen these two. I love these swirls, these like really vintagey looking bits and pieces. Okay, so those are the pieces I'm using today. So that's Antique Papery Garden Trellis, it's called. So that's what we are looking at. Now, don't want those to fall on the floor. What we want to do first of all is let's start with the base piece right over here. So the piece that I have used comes from on the page this section over here. So we're going to take that section over there, and I cut that out, I tore it out, and we're going to place it over there. Now you'll see there's a tear over there, but that's for a reason, so I'll show you. So you want to cut that piece out over there, and then the other piece, because this goes behind, obviously, I haven't had to cut all the way down. I've used this piece over here, and that comes from the other side over there. So that's what I've done. So you've got a piece there and a piece there, and then the rest you could make beautiful tags and things out of that. Beautiful things. I thought a little booklet, a nice note booklet, would look really lovely with the top piece, or journal cards. I mean, it's just endless. So that's what I've used for that. We are going to make a tag with a piece, etc. So hang on to that idea. So that is going to go on the top, and we are going to be working with this bottom piece here. And then what I did was I just took a scrap out of my scrap box. This is actually from the boho sheet, which I think was a freebie long ago, but any sort of muted script that you have would look wonderful. Muted beigey sort of color, because that bit's going to go just at the back there, and that will be the piece that's going to sit behind here like that. I just did this. I used to do this with scrapbooking because I just wanted something. I didn't want everything to appear so flat. So even with the butterflies, you can see that they're giving a bit of a 3D look, and I quite like that. So we're going for 3D here because, as I said, this would be a front cover. You could put this in your journal, look beautiful. And I've made the bow flat, and I'll show you how I did all of that in a minute. All right, so we want to ink this up quickly, so very quickly and very lightly as well. Carol's influenced me, Carol Parker, and I'm now on the Distress Oxide Vintage photo, and I saw Jackie Chimes also mentioning she uses that, and I quite like it because it's not as dark. So ladies, thank you for that tip. I am using that, but mine came and it's got like a broken section there, but never mind, I can't be bothered to get hold of Amazon for that. Right, so I've lightly done that. We need to just do that a little bit at the top there as well, only the top because you're not going to see the rest. And then what you need to do is tear where you want the tear. You can see it's like the first third from the right hand side, and then very gently with your fingers you want to roll this. So this is fiddly, but start small. Small, like really small, and eventually it will come right. And I did have to mess around with this quite a lot, so but in the end it did work. So we just want to get it going, and once we've done that, then it's all right. Okay, so you just keep rolling. Now my paper is quite thick, it's 160 gram, so that's double copy paper thickness, so it is harder. The thinner the paper is, the better to do this. But we go, we've got it going now. All right, so you just want to keep on doing that. Okay, so we've got one side going, and now we just want to do the other side quickly. There we go, that's working better. Okay, so we just want to do that just to give it a little bit more of a 3D effect. And of course it works nicely with the vintage. Okay, so we've got that all sorted. So there we go. Now all I did with mine was I gave it a light dusting on the tops just to take away from the white and give it a little bit of a vintage look, so it looks like that now. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick this down behind it, and there you'll have your little opening like that. So if you didn't know how to do that right, this is open on that side. And what I did here, what have I done with my knife? I did slit this open, but I thought I'd take a different approach this time, and I would stitch it before I put it on here. Was that the way I was going to do this? I was going to stitch it when I was finished. That's it, sorry. Okay, so we want to take this, just make sure we've got it in the right spot. Yeah. Okay, so a little bit of glue here. Okay. And then get this bit glued down. I was struggling to come up with my idea, which was in my head today, but it wasn't materializing how I wanted it to, so I nearly threw the whole thing away, as you do. So yeah, we nearly didn't have a video yet tomorrow, but never mind, we got there in the end. Okay, there we go, quite like that. Roll that over, perfect. A little bit over there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So what I did next was I've got this little die that does these really tiny doilies. Let me just move my chair in here. And I did a really tiny doily from a scrap of wallpaper that I had, and that's what I actually put on over here. So that's what I'm going to stick on next. Let me just put some glue on there. These bits are a bit tricky, but I haven't used these little doilies for ages, and I bought them secondhand. I've had quite a few secondhand purchases on eBay for fabulous doilies, and the other thing I got, which was lovely, is the Rolodex die, which I also got for next to nothing, which has been fabulous. Right, so we've got that. Now what I need is my script paper. So let me just grab that quickly. Sorry. Right, so what we want is a little bit of script just to go at the bottom. So I've got the script, and I just want to tear off a little bit to go at the bottom over here, and I think I'm just going to quickly, oh, this parchment is tough going, put a little bit on the bottom there. Okay, so we're going to stick that down over there, so I just need to give it a dusting of this, and then we can stick this down. There we go. So let's put that down. We'll have it just on the end like that. I'm happy with that. Alright, so it's coming along nicely. And then what I did was I took a little bit of lace over there. Now on this one I used a piece of doily, and then I thought it looked a bit tatty and I wasn't very happy with that. So what I did now was I took a little piece of lace like that, scalloped, and I sewed on 3 little buttons that will they're like little pearlized buttons, and they are tiny. They are 8 millimeters. They are little, but I love them. And these are the 3 colors that I have, luckily, and these are the 3 colors that we're doing. So we're going to just take a little piece of lace. I've stitched 3 buttons on, and we're going to just stick that down. But we're not going to stick that down before we've sewn, because we've obviously got that to deal with first. Alright, so that's everything that we need on this front here, and we can stitch that bit down. So I'm just going to put it to the side quickly, and then I want to just get on with this bit. Now this bit here is really quick, because all we need to do is stick this onto the top. Now let's just make sure that the opening is on the top. Like that. We don't need to do the bottom. We'll come back to that bit there, and then we can stick down the side of the envelope as well. Okay, we won't be needing that for anything. That one needs to be stitched first, because obviously if I go and stitch that across there, it'll close the pocket. So we'll stitch that one first and stick it down, and we're going to stitch just along there with this one. This one also needs to have the pocket glued down. Right, so there we go. So we've got the bottom pocket, we've got the top pocket. We're all set for sewing. Okay, right, so I will meet you back here in a minute. Sorry, literally. I'm just going to finish up on the sewing, and then I'll show you how it's turned out. Okay, just get around here like that. All right, so I'm back. So there you can see I've just stitched on those 3 sides, and that's made it look really pretty. And then on this side, just stitched on those 3 sides. So I can stick this down on the top here now. Right, so we can do that quickly. Oh, I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for popping over to my Etsy shop and supporting me and buying those digitals. So that was just wonderful of all of you. I hope to have some more available soon. So keep checking, and hopefully you've got your notifications turned on the Etsy if you favorite my shop. My Etsy link is in the description box. Then any new items, there are going to be some new things that are sort of just for my store, so have a look. Make sure that you favorite the Etsy shop, and then you'll get all the notifications on that. So thank you everybody, you're just wonderful. I do appreciate that. Okay, so this is coming along, looking good. What we want to do now is we want to stick on those flowers on the back here. So what I did was, again, I've used my Tim Holtz wildflower die cuts. I've just cut out a daisy. Just trying to take that out quickly. And I'm not sure what that is, but that one. Alright, so we just want to, it just gives it a little bit of a 3D sort of effect, which I really love. So I thought it would be nice just to have something over the edge of the page. I've tried to do that because, you know, we don't have to be in the box. It's better to, you know, be right out of the box. That's my attitude to life anyway. Right, so we want to just be mindful of where the glue does need to go and where it doesn't need to go. And then we can cut off once we've got to the flap level. So let's see, we're going to have that over there like that. Yeah. We can cut that off right there. In fact, right there. And then the last one, we'll go just over it like that, a little bit higher, and then we'll only need to cut glue to that point, and then we know where we are. Okay, so this one's a little bit more trickier, but we'll get there. I've had the most wonderful response to all the envelopes that I've made, well, just all the videos that I've made, and I just want to thank you all on my YouTube channel for all your wonderful support. Everybody, you've been phenomenal. I really couldn't thank you all enough, honestly. The support and the comments are really lovely, really lovely. A couple of people were saying to me about why people putting thumbs down. Don't worry about people who put the thumbs down, you know. We can't please all the people all the time. It doesn't upset me, so don't worry about it. I used to get upset about it because I thought, you know, you think, oh, all this effort, but really it doesn't, because everybody is entitled to their opinion and they don't have to like what I do, and that's fine with me. So, you know, as long as most of you like what I'm doing, which you do, then that's fine. I'm happy with that, and that makes my heart all warm and fuzzy inside. So don't worry about other people. Right, but thank you for your concern. I do appreciate that. Right, now we're going to stick this base one on, and we're just going to glue it, and this is just how I did it. I just used this glue. And like I always say, don't go right to the edge. Stick to the stitch line if you've got stitching. Obviously, if you're not going to stitch, that's fine too. Just don't go right to the edge, because it'll ooze out. Which, if that happens, is not a crisis. You can always wipe it off. But there we go. Alright, so that's all looking good. Now, while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to just take my little pegs. Oops. Like that. Oops. Okay, and that can just do its thing while it's drying, and then what I'm going to do is prepare some of the other things. So we've already got our little bit of lace that's going to stick on there. That's awesome. And now we've got these little banners with butterflies to put on. So what I did was I was rummaging in my punch drawer, and this one I've got is called Just Cut DP Craft, Just Cut, and it's got a little banner thingy on there. So if you wanted to do this is easily done yourself. It's just because I have one of these and I use it usually for the inside of my signatures. This is 2 centimeters by about 14 millimeters, so it's just short of an inch. It's like 3/4 of an inch by just over 1/2 inch. So that's if you wanted to know what the size was. Alright, so I cut those out, and I've cut 4 butterflies out. I've just resized the butterflies. You know, I've got them on Pinterest. I have a selection of butterflies that I use there. And how did we miss one of these? Oh, I think I put it in here. Yep, there it is. Okay, so we've got 4 of those, which we're going to put on, and we need 4 butterflies, which, what have I done? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I have the 4 butterflies. I've got 2 pink and 2 blue. Now, all I did was really simple. Cut the butterflies out, and I just put glue on the middle section. I've left the wingtips sort of unglued, and I'll come back to that when they've dried. So we just want to do the middle bit like that, and that way when we've sorted them out, we can lift the wings a bit and they'll have a 3D effect. So that's what we're doing there. So just on the middle bit like that. Okay, just turn that one around and stick it down. And this is fiddly, it is fiddly, but it's worth it. Right, so we got 3. One more. And I've got glue all over my hands, I've got ink all over my hands, so I'm sorry, I'm looking like a mess today. Even pen, just everything all over the place. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we've got those 4 drying there, and then what I did was, I've got these really tiny pearl flat backed beads, which I don't know where I got them. I've had them for ages, and now I think they're on a strip. So what I did was just take them off the strip. So I just cut them with my knife. You could do it with your scissors. And then we're going to do, and this is where my other glue comes into play, because this has got a much finer tip. Alright, so this is a really tiny, oops, we just want the tiniest drop of glue here, and then we're going to just place 1, not 3. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have pearls everywhere, and we're just going to stick that on there. Okay. And when you can grip them, because that's the next thing. Okay, 2 down, 2 to go. There we go. Last one. These are really tiny. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, right, last one. Okay, there we go. So we've got the little banners done now. Okay, so let's just move those to the side, and we can take these all off now. I do like my pegs. Mrs. Cog got me into pegs, and those are really mini pegs, so I do like them. Okay, so we've got our little banners drying there now, and those are great. What we need to do now is sort out the ribbony bit, and let's stick on this little bit over here while we are at it. So I'm just going to take this glue, and I'm going to run a little bead of it over the bottom section here. How long does it? Yeah, so luckily this glue dries clear, so we're all right with that. So just take this little bit of lace, and put that on here, just like that. So we'll just have it peeking over like that. Okay, so we're getting there. Right, let's grab some ribbon now. Okay, so I've got some seam binding here. You can crunch it up if you want. I don't really want it too wrinkly because for the purposes of what I want to do today, I just want it a little bit wrinkly. It's not really going to withstand anyway. So we're now going to put this on the back, and you could use a bit of masking tape just to hold it in place. Remember, you're going to stick this bit down anyways, so you could use it as a flip out, but I mean, for what I'm going to do, this is going to be fine. I just want to, at this point, see that I've got it where I need it, and now I have, so meaning the bow's not going to be lopsided or so, or I've got more than enough here. So we want to just move that quite close to the top like that, and then just put some masking tape on there just to keep it in place. Okay, now you could take, just trying to get some of my, I didn't do this on the other one, but you could use double-sided tape just to keep it in place as you're going. So if you had to just break that in half, stick a little bit there and a little bit there, that would help. So one, I don't know why I just didn't use my pokey tool, but never mind, there we go. Right, so now we just want to run that over there a little bit, and we want to just, we'll get to that one there. Now what I did was, and I'm not good at doing bows on camera, I don't know why, I think because I've got the feeling it's just not going to work, which it usually doesn't. So I mean, I battle with it anyway. Okay, so I made that tight, and then I just tied, okay, sorry, my memory was full there. So we've tied a little knot there, and what we're doing now is this is the tricky bit. You want to grab yourself a needle, and thread. So what I did was, let's just get a decent piece of thread. So I've just got some embroidery twine that I've pulled apart, and I think I've got 3 strands here. Luckily I've got my glasses on, so hopefully I can do this. Hopefully. Yeah. Okay, so let's just do it. Go underneath with your needle and just catch a little bit on the top there. There's probably a different way to do this, but this is my way. Okay, so, and then pull out one of the threads. So now you've got your thread over there like that. So you want to make a little loop over there and make a little loop over there, and then just make sure it's the length that you want it on both sides like that. And then what we do is we are going to tie a knot, and it looks awkward because it is. So if I just leave that like that and grip these 2 strings and tie, oh, what's happened here? Alright, so we want to get this to pull down, but in the meantime I just want to make sure before I do it that these are where I want it. Where's the knot? Right, so then just pull those together like that. Okay, so there we have our bow. I just wanted that one a little bit longer, so you can loosen it and then just pull this tight and make a knot. Okay, so now we've got a bow there without making the thick bit. in the middle. Now before you cut anything, what we need to do is I've got these little bits that I've made. So I've got these really little tags. Now this tag is the one that they would usually put on jewelry. So the length of this tag is like an inch or 2.5 centimeters, and it's like 15 mils wide, or about a half an inch wide. So what I did was I put a tiny scrap there. This is an 8 mil button, and this is a little bit of lace. I've sort of distressed it and I've stuck that together on there. So you've got that tiny tag, and then this is just a little ticket that I had, a little pink one that said shine. I've put a little hole in it. I've threaded on this baker's twine or butcher's twine, and I've made a little bow, so we can just adjust however long you want the little bow things to be. All right, so a little bit longer like that. And then what I did was I'm going to take these 2 threads, put them back in my needle, and I'm going to thread them through the loop of the little tags. And I might have to come back to you with this because I'm going to struggle now. Right. This is what you have when you're old. So I'm not going to struggle on camera today. So now I'm going to struggle just to see how to put that through. Gosh, life is challenging sometimes. Ladies, I'm sure you can relate. Right, so we want to thread those through there, and then we can thread the needle. Oh my goodness. Right, so let's put that back. Okay, so there we go. I've got that threaded now, and what I wanted to do was just thread it through the loop there, which was simple enough, isn't it? Okay, so don't do it too tight. Get where you should be. And then just make a little bit of a loop here, like a little stitch really, and just pull it up a bit, just so that it's where it needs to be. Okay, like that. And then we can just do another stitch, thread it through the loop like that. There we go. Okay, we got there. Right, so there's that. And now you can ascertain how long you want these to be. So let's say we want that. Well, that's not very angled. So what am I doing? Right, so let's just do that. It's getting shorter and shorter by the minute. And then probably here. There we go. Okay. So we've got our bow, we've got our little tags, and now what goes on the top there is a little flower. Okay, so I've got these little silk flowers that I got from eBay, and then all I do is I cut off this back here. So I just take my scissors at the base, and this will lift off. If not, doesn't matter. And then we're going to just stick that on top there like that. Okay, so we're going to take our fabric tack because that's the best thing for this. And in fact, we'll get to that in a minute. Right, so let's just put some fabric tack around that bit there. And we'll stick that down. Hold it for a sec. And there we go. It is easier when you pull the green back thing off, so you don't struggle with it. So there's that on. It'll dry nicely. And then what I did was just take a little bit of this, and you can arrange your taggy bits. So I just wanted this, actually it's lying pretty all right. I did have this more angled down, so I just used a bit of tape to have that where I wanted it. Okay, and then just get that where you want it, like that, and then the same with the other side. So now we just want to move that there and stick that down like that. There we go. How's that? It's looking good. Okay, then we can just arrange our twine, a little bit there, a little bit there. There we go. Looking pretty now. Okay, so you've got your tag out there and that one over there, and we might just put, I think I'll just put a little bit of glue down for the pink tag so it wasn't moving around too much. And right, okay, so we're not far to go now. So there we go. So everything's where it should be. Now what we want to do is just put on our banners, and the first one is going to go down, so we just move that out the way. So it puts on some we'll start with a pink one, and we'll have that over here like that. And let's just see where they're all going to go before I stick them all down. And the blue one, oh gosh, and there's the dog. Okay, so we just want to get these all in play how we want them, and like that. And I did have one going over the edge which I thought was cute. Okay, so then we've got one there. I want to lift up its wings like that, and then we want to do this one, so let's just lift up the wings before we do it. You're probably thinking, gosh, this woman and her fiddly things. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I was just feeling in a very girly mood today, so you know. We've got that one there, and then we've got our last little one. Lift its wings. Lift your wing up, mate. Right. Okay, didn't actually need that on the bottom. Like that. Okay, so we're coming along then. Okay, so how's that so far? So good? Yeah? So everything's looking really pretty. What I wanted to do now was just bring you up to speed with the various bits and pieces and how I made those. So let's move all this out the way. Okay, so we've got all of that sorted. I'm quite happy with that. Then what I did was, as I said to you, I've taken one of these antique papery cards. I think it's French Ephemera. I've just stuck a piece of a doily on that looks like a floral piece. I've put a lovely peach mother of pearl button flower shape, which I love. I don't even remember where I got those, and I don't have many, so I am hanging on to them. So there's that, and that's going to slide in there like that. And then, as I said to you, I made a little pocket out of this vellum, which I ran through my, I don't know if you can see that it's textured. It's really pretty. My embosser. So that picture comes from Pinterest, as I said to you, under botanicals, so you can go and have a look. That slides in the back over there. So, oops, let's just put it in a bit further. Like that. And in the very back pocket, I took a piece of paper, which I said to you I'd show you where I got that from. And what it was, I took it from this piece here. And that was perfect. It was quite muted, and I was able to use that as a backing sheet. And then I've used a stamp from chapter 1, which I'm loving, a little piece of script, little bits of that one little scrap that I had from the last envelope, which was yay big. I've used it here, and then I've just put a little fabric ruffle, a little bit of a doily scrap, and a little pearl heart on there and stitched around it. And then that's perfect to go into the back here, so it's not onto card. So that slides into the back over here like that. Okay, so there you have it. We finished. How lovely is that? I think it's so pretty, and it'll make a beautiful cover or in your journal. So either way, I think it's a win. So I hope you like that. That's number 16. I hope you've enjoyed creating this with me today. Please don't forget to share what you make. Don't either link me in on a Facebook group you're in, or tag me in on Instagram, or you can email me as well. All my details are down in the contact details are down in the description box. So have a look and please include me in what you make. I love seeing what you guys do. Leave a comment. I love your comments, so I'll get back to you. I will. And if you aren't a subscriber, please subscribe. I'd love to get to know you guys. Don't be shy. The more the merrier. So I love meeting you all. Thank you all so much for watching. I've had a fun time creating, and thank you for making the time to spend with me to watch this today. I appreciate that very much. So I'm going to say goodbye. Stay safe, stay happy, and go craft. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.